Hello, hello, and welcome back. I'm Shayna Cersei, and I'm so excited to paint with you today for another watercolor journal idea. And we are painting in our journals again, and today I'm going to be keeping it really simple. I'm in the mood for some muted colors and some intuitive painting. I am going to be painting a tree-like structure, but I'm going to keep it very loose and very simple, almost abstract. You'll still be able to tell it's a tree, so not quite abstract, but yeah, that's what we're going to do today. So I'm just going to pull out some of the colors I know I'm going to want to start with. Some of this magenta, some sap green, a little purple. Ooh, I have my other brush in here. So I'm going to use this is Princeton Velvet Touch size 10 brush. And I'm also going to use a liner brush. All right, so with my magenta, I'm going to add a little sap green to that. But not a lot, just a little to mute that a little bit. All right, now I'm going to keep these colors really light and really loose. You know what, let's add a little phthalo over here. So I added phthalo, but I still had sap green on my brush, so it's already a little muted. And I might pull out some of this cobalt teal. So just playing with all of these colors. Use whatever colors you want. I'm going to keep these really thin. And I am just going to start to paint a tree-like structure with these colors. But if you see, I'm adding lots of water. I'm going to let wet on wet kind of take over for some of it. Some of this blue in there. Sometimes it's nice to just make blobs of color and then see what you get. So letting these colors kind of mix. And yeah, let's put this out on this side here. All right, I'm going to put in a center structure now. Let's see. Let's pick up some, what do I got over here? I've got a navy blue color, like in this well. I don't think that's gonna work for me. I want something more brown. So I'm just gonna pick up some raw umber, this darker brown color. And I am gonna make kind of this funky tree-like structure. All right, and I'm gonna add lots of details to this in a little bit. But for right now, I'm gonna curve a few branches together, like intertwined. Let's go up this way. Okay. What else are we going to add here? We're going to have to let some of this dry. Add some more of this green here. Ooh, that's super bright. That's that cobalt teal. Add lots of water to it. You can flick. There's lots of different ways that you can, excuse me, that you can experiment with something like this. Nice and loose, wet on wet, layering, flicking, creating fun textures. Let's put something down here. You could put just water down at first. And I'm basically just kind of bopping around and finding spots that need a little something to kind of build this overall pattern. I didn't have anything really specific in mind when I started other than tree-like shape. So, all right, I'm going to give this a chance to dry. And then I'm going to come back to it, add some more details, and see if I want to add some more layers before I make everything super muddy. Okay, let it dry. All right, I'm back and it's all dry. This is a little brighter in color than I was originally thinking of, but that's okay. Not as muted, but we can work with that. And everything is looking great. We're kind of on the right path, but I think we need to add some contrast. So that means darker colors. So let's take some of this sap green. I actually just mixed it right into that brown there. And I'm gonna add a little alizarin crimson. Just gonna make it a little bit more olivey. And also I added some Payne's gray. So now I have this kind of deep, dark color. So I'm just gonna add some layers on that are going to be darker. And start to help things kind of pop a little bit or separate. Often what a painting needs, I find for me, is just contrast. Just add a little contrast. All right, so let's go with this darker purpley magenta color. Sorry for that glare there. And then, you know, I'm going to take this purple, but I'm going to make it kind of gray. Make it dark. And I'm going a little crazy here. Just boop, 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 boop. All right, so I'm going to, while that is drying, some of those darker colors. And again, I'm sorry for that sheen there. It really kind of takes away. While that is drying, I'm going to work on the trunk. All right, so I'm going to get out this liner brush. This is a 2/0, so nice and thin. And I am going to take some of that burnt umber. I'm just going to mix it in. Use my bigger brush to mix it in over here. And add Payne's gray. I want this to be really dark burnt umber. Really dark brown, almost black. All right, so now on these kind of already existing branches, I am going to start to add kind of some vining that's going to go up and around them. You know what? I'm going to change the angle just a little bit so that you can see more of what I'm doing. All right, there we go. Hopefully that you can see my hand doesn't get in the way as much. So this is kind of like pattern making-ish. Where I'm kind of following the same path or pattern, but then I'll mess it up by going across it. And I'm really just kind of letting my brain wander to make these patterns and shapes, kind of like I did with the color. I'm going to let a few kind of trail off. Let's wrap some this way. Actually, I'm going to come down. Right down here on the bottom. And going out into space a little bit. Just do whatever feels kind of right. And this is one of those things where you can just keep going and going and going, especially if it's in your journal. This is not for a finished piece, it's just for you. And you can just go until it's wrong, until you've run out of good decisions to make and it just starts to go. But sometimes it's the process. Just letting your brain enjoy creation, enjoy pattern making. Who cares if it turns out not great in the end? If you enjoyed the process of making it. I'm actually going to add some purple into these vines. I actually just read a book. This is reminding me of it. That had like, it was science fiction, and gosh, I'm going to go off on a tangent here. It was science fiction and had plants in it that were like, that took over humans. That's what this is reminding me of. Like all of these spindly, it's beautiful. I love it. But I'm wondering if I was subconsciously influenced by this book. I didn't think of it till just now. Put some up here. All right, and then I think I am just about done. Because like I said, you can keep going until it's just not a thing anymore. But I think I'm going to add maybe just a little bit more layer. I want to kind of introduce this blue a little bit to a few spots. There we go. I feel like just that little bit kind of makes me feel better. There we go. I have no idea what I'm going to title this video, but I'll figure it out. Paint to make your brain happy. Okay, I think I have done enough. Here is our funky little loose, intuitive, tree-like painting. Could certainly find a lovely place on a bigger scale on your wall. Maybe, I don't know. Tell me what you guys think of this one. Thank you so much for painting with me today. I'm Shayna Cersei. It's always a pleasure painting with you, and I will see you for our next journal idea, watercolor journal idea. Don't forget to check out the description, and always thank you for watching. Take care, y'all. Bye-bye.